Hello, my dear students of class 8. This is your literature teacher Pratik sir. Today we will do chapter number 7, A Handful of Clay. Clay, mud. So it's a life sketch of clay. How a clay which lies beside a seashore or is taken by someone with a shovel and then put it into a good structure, so that particular picture will get in this story. So let us follow the journey of a simple lump of clay. There was a handful of clay in the bank of a river. It was only common clay, coarse, heavy, but it had high thoughts of his own value. So the clay had a very good inspiration, has a very optimistic mind in himself. I'm personifying clay with having a mind. So I'm giving the clay a person value. That is why I'm telling it as personifying. And wonderful dreams of the great place which it was to fill in the world when the time came for its virtues to be discovered. So basically, what the poet means, the author means, the author says that, the narrator says that the clay will take a ship when it will go to a pottery walk. It will be shaped in various forms and it will travel to several parts of the world. Overhead in the spring sunshine, so here the narrator is describing the whole nature. Overhead in the spring sunshine, the trees whispered together of the glory which descended upon them when the delicate blossoms, means spring, it's a time for blossom. Okay, it will generally ooze out with flowers everywhere, the scent, the fragrance of the new flowers, new things. So this is the spring season when the earth gets rejuvenated. So blossoms and leaves began to expand, and the forest glowed with fair, clear colors as if the dust of thousands of rubies and emeralds. So the dust are compared to what? Rubies and emeralds. They are hanging with the clouds. The dusts are getting condensed. Where? In the clouds. The flowers, surprised with the joy of beauty, bent their heads to one another as the wind carries them and said, Sisters, how lovely you have become. You make the day bright. So the winds blow and they blow whispers. While the winds blow, they whispers to the flowers that you make the day bright. You're so beautiful. You describe the nature. Now the narrator is talking about the river glad of new strength. So glad of new strength. Why? Because when the rain comes down, it will be glad. The rivers will flow down very much swiftly, right? So they are glad of the new strength and rejoicing in the unison. So they will get mixed up. This river or waters will get mixed up, unison with its waters. Murmur to the shores in music. So they will mix up with the sea. They will ride with the waves in music, telling of its new release from the icy fetters. So from when as we know that the rivers come down from the ice, this the glacier melts, it tracks down from the river and then mixes with the ocean. So its whole journey, the river will say to the ocean how it came from the glacier down to that ocean. He will describe his journey to whom? To the ocean. Its swift flight from the snow clad mountains and the mighty work to which it was hurrying, the wheels, many mills to be turned. So, hydroelectricity. The swift flowing rivers are taken as hydroelectricity. They turn the wheels, so that is why it is said the wheels of many mills to be turned, and great ships to be floated to the sea. And it also, what does it do? It also turns the fan, the turbulence of the ship. The ship has a turbulence down and the fan revolves, and with that what the ship also moves on. So the waters will help the ship's fan to rotate. Okay, and this rotation will cause the ship to accelerate forward. So the wheels of many mills to be turned and great ships to be floated to the sea. Waiting blindly in its bed, the clay comforted itself with lofty hopes. My time will come. So all these are seen by whom? Clay. The mud is seeing everything. And he's waiting for his turn. I was not meant to be hidden forever. Glory and beauty and honor are coming to me in due season. So when the rain will come, when I'll be taken away, okay, I'll be a mud, okay, I will be taken for pottery work. So one day the clay felt itself taken from the place where it had waited so long. A flat blade of iron, this is the shovel, passed beneath it and lifted it and tossed it into a car with other lumps of clay. And it was carried far away, as it seemed, over a rough and stony road. But it was not afraid nor discouraged. The clay was not afraid, as it was taken away to a separate area. He was not afraid. The stone was not afraid. This clay was not afraid, not at all afraid of the new things happening to him. Rather, he was enjoying the thing. He was optimistic. He was not discouraged. He was brave for it itself. This is necessary. Change is always necessary. Okay, if we stick behind something that we are depressed with, if you stick with that things, you will never overcome that depression. You have to come out of that depression. You have to move in your life. You have to move out in your life from different hurdles that you are going to face. So the path to glory is always rugged. The clay believes that the path to glory is always rugged. Okay, it's always harsh, it's always difficult. Means to achieve something you have to face many difficulties. Now I am on my way to play a great part in the world. So he says, this clay says that I am on my way to become something more than what I am. But the hard journey was nothing compared with the tribulation and distress that came after it. So, tribulation is the trouble or suffering that I have to overcome. The clay was put into a trough and mixed and beaten and stirred and trampled. So, before putting it into a shape, it goes through many things, that is that is straw, that it is bundled up, then mixed, then stirred, and then trampled. It seemed almost unbearable. So the pain that it gets is unbearable. But there was consolation in the thought that something very fine and noble was certainly coming out of all this trouble. So the clay believes that if I am beaten, I am coming to a shape. Okay, I am being trampled. I am being beaten. I am being mixed with trough. Then still, I can bear this pain because I know something good is going to happen to me. Why teachers force or teachers pressurize your parents